just shows. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
The delay.
Yep.
Sorry about that.
No problem.
Okay.
Excuse me, Professor.
What's that?
Excuse me, can I say
Ali.
something?
Okay, Mohammed Ali, go ahead.
Yes, I just can't write in the general box.
Yes, me too. I can't write,
I can't send
teacher.
messages. They are telling me you are not permitted to post in general.
Okay. Is it possible that you're not in the team?
No, I'm in your team. I'm pretty sure of it. You can also.
Let me double check.
Yes, please.
Okay, and
Because
who else?
Iram.
Iram.
I'm in this section too.
Okay, let me
Me
check.
too, teacher.
Interesting. Okay, let me check it out and see. Ali, for you, it says actually already exists in the team, it says. And let's check Iram.
Mohammed
Iram,
Ali. Mohammed
yeah,
Ali.
Mohammed Ali. Yeah, I know. Itani, right?
Yes, Professor. I was able the last Wednesday to post in the general chat room, but after that you ended the session, I don't know what happened. I couldn't send any messages.
Okay, let me say something then. I think it's Iram. What's your last name?
Turgut.
Okay, Turgut. Yeah, I see that.
Professor, you remember that the last
Yeah,
lecture you
I-
did something.
Yeah, I did the changes and I didn't read. I mean, I didn't do again. I corrected it and then I didn't touch again. I mean, why this is happening? I don't know. Let's see. I corrected it somehow. Okay.
I can't also write in the chat.
Okay. How about now? Can you try?
Me too, teacher. I can't write.
Teacher, I
No,
was able
Professor,
to
I still
write,
can't.
but now I can't.
Same.
No, try again. Just there's this 4 minutes, 4 seconds delay. Just try now.
It's okay now.
It's okay now, right? Okay. I solved the problem.
No,
Yeah.
I still didn't have it. I can't have
Really?
Yes, I
permission.
can't.
Yes.
I can't still.
Interesting.
I think if you try to fix it, maybe they should leave and join again. Maybe it will be fixed.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. That's a good idea.
Like exit the team
Exit
from
and
the tasks.
that's
Okay,
a
I'm
good
going to
idea.
try now.
Please do that.
Professor, so how are you going to get our attendance?
I'm gonna get it in the middle of the class. I will download attendance list. I mean, I have another way. I have double check. Okay, so don't worry about that. Khan, what do you want to say?
That's it. I was asking about the attendance.
Teacher, he can't talk. He wrote in chat.
Okay. Okay, let me check.
Professor, I still can't do it. I can't write.
Okay, Khan, why don't you send me the error in the email, and I will forward it to Ismail Bey, who is the representative. So that's all I can do, okay? That's their job. If there's a difficulty, if there are technical problem after you enter my lab, then it is Ismail Bey's responsibility to fix it, okay? Just send me. With any issues, if you have any issues with that, okay? All right.
Professor, so I tried to open MyLab on my phone. It doesn't work. It only has to work on my laptop, right?
MyLab would work on cell phone. However, some questions may not appear. There are, okay, in MyLab, there are some questions that could be seen by a cell phone, and there are some questions that you cannot see it by cell phone. So it is the best if you use your computer.
He can use a desktop site mode on his phone. It will work.
Is it? Mm-hmm. So if there's such a thing, can you put a link about that in the chat? Maybe they can just they don't.
It's like how to put desktop site mode.
Yeah.
Okay.
They may not know it.
So is it like
I
an
didn't
app? Excuse me. So understood it. Is it like an app we download, like another searching app, like Google?
No. When you open Google Chrome, there's 3 points on your top right side. You press it and you press something called desktop site. That's it.
Okay. So Google Chrome specifically.
Yeah. I don't know, but I use Google Chrome. I think in any browser.
Okay, let me see with the Google Chrome. There's 3 points. You're right.
Any browser, but not in the general browser on your phone. It's in Turkish tarayıcı. It doesn't work, but Opera and Chrome can work for this.
Hey, look, man, I don't see the option that you were talking about. All I see is reload, new tab, bookmark, region list. I don't see the desktop thing.
Wait, I'll give you a link.
Okay.
Okay. So let's start our lecture.
Sorry, before starting.
Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Muhammad.
Yes, please. My problem that it hasn't been solved yet.
What was chat, writing in the chat?
Yes.
Yes, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I can't write in the chat also. I also can't write in the chat.
Okay. Can you send me an email saying that you are in the team, but you cannot write in the chat? Can you just help? And then I'm going to forward it to IT. IT can maybe fix it. Because I don't know.
Okay.
Okay, Professor, I'm going to send you this mail today.
Yes, just send an email saying that, state the problem clearly though, okay? It's important. Stating the problem right, it's halfway solution, okay? Half of the problem is solved if you state the question right. Okay.
Yok, yazılmayız değil mi? Hay yazmadık ya.
Yok,
Yazılmayız.
hayır.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So let's start. So I send you homework B questions and homework 1 questions and homework 2 questions in the chat. I want you to open up homework 1, and I'm going to open up here too. We are going to go over them.
Excuse me, is it the homework one that we are supposed to post it on LMS before 31 of October?
That's right. You're going to still submit because we are going to discuss it now, but you're going to write it down. Yes, I want to see the writing it down. You have to write it down and I have to see it.
Yes, of course. But in my case, I have sent you an email about and told you that yes. So can I just do it from this PDF and write it in my hand writing and put it on LMS without?
Okay. Okay.
There's no problem, right?
No problem.
صوتك راح.
Okay. So I want to see it in your handwriting, and also I want to see it in a rigorous paper, right? Like you are going to write the answers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and write as many explanations as you can. I want to see sentences more than equations or other stuff, okay? I want to see more sentences.
Oh,
Like
we have to write again because
No, if you already submit, no problem.
Okay, just on my lab answers I write. That's okay. Okay.
That's okay. Yeah, that's okay. No problem. You're done. You're fine. No problem. Don't worry about that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So let's start. So it says find the domain of the following function. Go ahead.
The homework B, is it compulsory?
No, it's not compulsory, but it is good if you do it, because it's gonna show how much you know, how much ready you are for this class. Okay, and then you're gonna so it's gonna also help you to work on your weak sides, weak side of yours in math. Okay, so it's good. If you have time, try it out and see what type of mistakes you go through or you make. And you can see the solutions in there as well. It shows, I mean, there are help part, you know. So it's up to you, okay? But I would strongly recommend. I strongly recommend homework A and B. And then homework 1, homework 2, you know, it's compulsory, of course. Okay. Step 1. In such questions, first of all, we look at this. There's a square root. So square root functions are special. We want the square root function to be meaningful. So step 1, we have to make sure that square root of x squared minus 64 has to be well defined. Okay, what does it mean well defined? Anything inside the square root has to be greater or equal to 0. So that's why we write it down. And then x squared is greater or equal to 64. And then from this step to this step, students have difficulty. They make a lot of mistakes. I have seen in the homework that are submitted, they don't know how to get from this step to this step. Okay, they don't know how to solve inequalities or equality equations involving x squared. So when you have an x squared in the equation or inequality, you have to take the absolute value of x and you take the square root of both sides, and square root of x squared is absolute value of x. It is greater or equal to 8. You have to have it like that, okay? So many students in this class are making such mistakes, okay, in Calculus 1 students, among Calculus 1 students. And absolute value of x greater or equal to 8 means x is greater or equal to 8 and x is less than or equal, I should say or, not and. I'm sorry, or. Or means this and this, union-wise, okay? Or x less than or equal to negative 8, not and. And means intersection, okay? Step 2, if you have such a function, the denominator can never be equal to 0. Okay, if it is 0, it is undefined. The function is undefined. So the points that makes the denominator 0 are bad points. So 15 minus square root of x squared minus 4 has to be non-zero. So I should say the denominator, which is 15 minus square root of x squared plus minus 64 has to be non-zero. So let's find points where this is 0, because the points that makes this 0 are bad points. We have to figure them first. Then we solve this equation. So 15 is equal to square root of x squared minus 64. And we square both sides, of course, right? And then square of 15 is 225. And square of square root is x squared minus 64. And we want to solve for x. X squared is equal to 64 plus 225, which is 289. And from here, x squared is 289. But then again, the same situation. From x squared is equal to 289 is the same as absolute value of x is equal to 17. See how to get from x squared to x. Okay, please be very careful. Then absolute value of x is equal to 17 if x is negative 17, or I should say, or x is equal to 17. These are bad points. Okay. Step 3 is just combine step 1 and step 2. Okay, let's write step here, step 2. Okay, so we are going to combine the two to get to the answer. The question is find the domain. So step 1 result, which is x is greater or equal to 8 and x is less than or equal to, or I should say, or x is less than or equal to negative 8. These are good points. These are in the domain. They are part of the domain. Okay. But negative 17 and positive 18 are bad. So we have to exclude them. So the domain, D represents the domain, is going to contain all x values, x real numbers, any real number. Maybe I should write it like that, any real number, any real. This notation shows such that, okay, x is going to be greater or equal to 8, or x is going to be less or equal to negative 8, and x is never negative 17, and x is never 17. Okay, you can write it like this if you like. The domain, you can write it like that. But there's another way to write it as well. You can start from negative infinity and you are going to go up to negative 17, but don't include negative 17. And then negative 17 to negative 8, but include negative 8. That's why you have the square bracket here. And then union 8 to 17, include 8 by using square brackets, but exclude 17 by using parentheses. And then union 17 to infinity. You can also write it like that. So this is also acceptable. Okay, that's how we do it. Any questions? Mm-hmm.
Should we write our answer like that?
That's right.
Like with
Either
details?
like this or like this. Mm-hmm.
No, I mean
there
with
are other
details.
ways to write it too. I'm sorry?
I mean detailed.
Yes, I mean as I told you. Okay, so at the university, it is better to write. It's better to learn. Writing results as clear as possible. Use sentences. This is going to be true for your other classes as well. This is also true for your physics class, chemistry class, biology class, or any other courses, math, any other math courses you're going to take. Write sentences that's going to explain your result. Okay?
Like it's the same as a report, isn't it?
I mean, you can consider this as a report, but but it's always good to explain yourself using sentences. This is going to definitely add up a lot to your engineering. When you become an engineer, after you graduate, you're going to see a lot of benefits from it. Okay, so you are getting some training here at the university to explain your solutions, to describe your solutions, not by using math notation, but using sentences as well. Okay, so you are trained at the college like that. So I would recommend you, strongly recommend you, because this is not high school anymore. Okay, this is a college, this is a university, and at the university you have to do things differently now. Okay, so I strongly recommend you try to write explain things a lot more. And this is going to help you big time doing the tests as well. Why? Because when you're trying to explain, explaining them, you're going to find your mistakes. And then you're going to say, no, this shouldn't be it. And then you're going to go over again and you're going to correct it. Okay? But if you just try to get to the answer right away, I'm sure it's not going to be right, because it's just a straight thinking and you miss the details. And at the university, you are learning to pay attention to the details. Okay? Not like in high school. In high school, if you get the answer, you're good. But this is not a high school anymore. Okay? So that's my strong recommendation. Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
I've submitted my homework already on LMS, and I've noticed that like some of what I've done is wrong enough. So should I do it again, or should it just stay like I've done?
Perfect. Could you do that, please? This is for yourself. Okay? I would strongly recommend you to redo it. Okay? This is going to improve yourself, and it's going to be really good for you. And you can submit it on the Teams or on LMS, either way. Either one is fine. But I would strongly recommend you to do it. Redo it.
And as I understood, I can submit as much homework as I can, right? Like I can put as many papers as I want.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Okay. Okay, then thank you.
Professor, I have a question.
Yeah.
So right now, my math lab, I opened it and I see the homework where it is. It's 10 questions. Sorry. Yeah, 10 questions for homework 1, for example. So after I open, let's say, each question, I answer them correctly. What's next? Is it going to give me like a screenshot of it, or do I have to print it, take a picture of it, send it to LMS? How do I do?
No. You are going to write it down handwriting.
Oh, so I'm going to write down the answers.
Of course. That's what I'm saying. I mean, for 3 weeks, I've been emailing you guys on this. I want handwritings because I want to see, okay, what I see in your handwriting, your thinking. I want to see your thinking. Okay. On my lab, it's just the answer is enough, but I don't want that. I want to see your work, how you get to it. Okay?
I'll look at the questions. I'll write the answers in my handwriting, take a picture, send it to you on.
Not picture. It's going to be one PDF file. I don't accept the pictures as well, because if it is 10 pages, then I don't want to see 10 pages of pictures. I don't want that. I want one file. It could be PDF or it could be PowerPoint. One of the students sent a PowerPoint. It's fine. It should be one file. I don't want to see 10 files.
No, it would be. I will make it in one. I will bet there's a way in the phone where in the phone you can scan the paper.
That's what I want. That's what I want. I want the scanning.
Yeah, I'll get the scan of the answers, and then I'll put them all somehow in a place, and then I'll do or something.
That's what I want.
All right, no problem.
Thank you very much. What's your name?
Excuse me, Professor.
Yeah.
Can I talk?
Please.
Yes. Excuse me, I was talking to you about 5 minutes. I had connection problems, but I don't know if you heard me good enough. But I was asking you, I was the one that told you and sent you an email about having trouble with the credit card to purchase my lab, and I couldn't. And I'm trying to find a solution, but from now till then, can I use the homework that you are sending to us on Microsoft Teams and choose my handwriting? Yes, but without putting it on my lab.
What's that?
But without putting it on my lab, because I
don't
have it.
It's fine. No problem.
Okay. Thank you, Professor.
Fine. Thank you very much. Alexander, did you talk or are you going to talk?
No. Thank you. I understood the.
Okay, I lower your hand. Okay. All right, so let's continue. Okay, let's do the second question. Consider the point xy lying on the graph of the line 6x plus 9y is equal to 5. Let L be the distance from the point xy to the origin. write L is a function of X, and write your answer. Now for this, what we are going to do, I am going to use
Formula of distance.
What's that?
We are gonna use the formula of distance. Distance equal racine of x1 minus
right.
x. Yeah.
That's right. Thank you very much. What's your name? I cannot see it now.
Fatmata.
Okay. Fatmata, thank you very much. That's what we are going to do. Yeah. And actually, so I'm going to write it on whiteboard. Do you see the whiteboard now?
Yes.
Yeah, we did. Yes.
Okay. So let me draw. I want to show you pictorially. Okay. So this is the x-intercept, 5/9. And this is, I mean, just a sec, y is equal to 0, y is equal to 5/6. I'm sorry, 5/6. Let me erase that. Okay, this is 5/6. And this is, when x is equal to 0, this is 5/9. Okay, the line passes through these points. Okay, this is my line. And then let's consider a point over that on the, line. And then there is this origin. Okay, and this is the distance between them. And I want to write this distance. As Fatumata says, L is equal to square root of x minus 0 squared plus y minus 0 squared. This is the distance between the points P and the origin. But they are asking about L to be only in terms of x, not y. I mean, we have y here, we have to get rid of y. Now I'm going to use my line equation. Okay, let me move this a little bit up. Okay, I'm going to move this up here. And then, by the way, this is not recorded. Whiteboard is not recorded for your information. Okay, you won't be able to see it in the recording. 5 minus 6x/9 is y. So I'm going to take this and put it in y here. Okay, then L is equal to square root of x squared plus 1/81. Okay, 5 minus 6x to the second power. Okay, so that's the function that they are asking, and this is the answer. Done. Okay, so this is clear, I guess, right? No questions. Do you have any questions on this? Is this clear?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
teacher.
No questions. Okay, let's go back to where we left off.
Professor, I think I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So basically, there's like, can you go back to the whiteboard, or is it gone?
Sure. Just one sec.
So y is a point laying on this line, which is
That's
x.
right.
Okay, so this 5x plus 9y equals 2 is just the formula that the solution, like if we know the x and y in it, we would know these points, these 2 points, or the x and y. And
That's
then
right.
the distance, L is the distance between this point and between the 0.
That's right.
So we know, how can I say, the origin of it is 0. Hello?
Yes, it is 0, 0. The origin is
Yeah.
0, 0. Yeah.
And we put the formula that you just put right now, which is, let me see, which is L, to find L, and L represent distance. This is from point, okay. And L is the function of x. What does it mean exactly, the function of x?
Okay. See here, if you look at the first L that we had written here,
yeah.
L is the function of x and y. Do you see that? But
L, the
is a
function
function
of
of x and y. So let me write it here.
Yeah.
Okay, L is a function of x and y here. Then it is square root of x squared plus y squared. Yeah, do you see it now? Now
It's
L is a
squared.
function of x and y. Do you see that?
Yeah.
But this is not what they want. They find L in terms of x only. And
Yeah.
in terms of x only is this one, x squared. We have to convert y into, we have to write y in terms of x. And that's how we can do it. I'm sorry, just a sec. What is 5 minus 6x? 5 minus 6x squared. Okay. Function of x means it's going to depend only on one variable, which is x. Function of x and y means in the function we are going to see x and y both.
Yeah. So, but it's not clear. It's L of x equals x squared plus, what is that? 1
over 81.
1 over 81. Okay. And
Okay, I just erased the square. Just a sec. I just erased that because it wasn't clear.
yeah.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
exactly 1 over 81? Oh,
Because
because if we want to solve the problem, we have to wait a second.
Square y. Do you see that y is equal to 5 minus 6x over 9?
I see it, yeah.
Because of that. I mean, I'm sorry.
Y equals minus 6x minus 6x over 9. Okay, no problem, Professor. I'll have look it up my own time. You can continue.
Okay, you can take a picture because it doesn't show up in the recording, this whiteboard, okay?
Okay, I already screenshotted it.
Okay.
Teacher?
Excuse me, Professor, one question. It's just the denominator that was 9. We put it 9 square and we separated it from 5 minus 6x square.
It is multiplication, so it's all the same.
Yeah, it's all the same. You can do that, right? You can either write it like this. Let me write this for you. Let me erase this part. Let me erase these guys all. I mean, you could have written L is equal to square root of x squared plus all of it, 5 minus 6x over 9, and then squared. You could have written like this, or you can separate it. It's up to you. As Fatumata said, it's multiplication. You can take it out. Is this clear?
Okay, thank you.
Teacher, can I ask a question?
Yes, Professor.
Sure, go ahead.
When we do this homework by ourselves, should we let the solution like this or should we explain in writing the steps?
Please write the steps in order, like first step, second step, etc. Write it as clear as maybe a 10-year-old can understand. Okay, 10-year-old child can understand. Okay, write it like that. It's a good habit to write it rigorously, clearly, so that a person, who is gonna check it, shouldn't have difficulty going through it. Okay, and it's a good habit for you. It's gonna improve you big time. If you try it now, you're gonna see a lot of benefits in the future. Okay.
Professor, I think I'm trying to understand the question totally, so I can understand well. Like, point xy is lying on the graph of the line x 5x plus 9 plus 9y equals 2. So this is just the line, and xy is on that line, and L is the distance between points xy to 0. So what we know for sure is that there's a line, and xy is on that line, and 0 is the origin of that line. So what is the function of x? What is L will be the function of x? I want to understand the rule. What is the rule that we use to find? That's my question.
Okay, I see. Rule for the distance? Rule for the distance, you mean?
Yeah, I want to know the rule for distance, also rule for the function, everything. I want to know the rules. When I see the rules, it becomes
okay. Here is the rule. P and Q x2, y2. These are 2 points.
Yes.
Okay, and the distance between 2 points, distance from P to Q, is equal to square root of x1 minus x2 squared that plus y1 minus y2, and then you square that. That's the distance formula. Let me write that distance formula. Yeah, you can take a screenshot.
Yeah, it's a screenshot. I took a screenshot. This is to find the distance.
This is to find the distance.
But we write L as a function of x. So how can I say the function of x means y? So basically, correct? Because f of x means y equals f of x, right? So L is a function of x. So first we have to find the function of x. Like what is the actual function of x? And then if we plug a number or something, we will know what's y or something.
Yeah.
No, but you don't need to find the function because it's already given. You just need to find the, yeah, that's it.
Okay, so this is the rule we use for distance. And then
yes.
what is the rule that we have
you
to use for the
substitute.
function?
Okay, the rule is, let me write it. Okay, in writing, in sentences. Okay, let me write this. Give me a second. Okay. In order, I mean, not that. Okay. I wrote somewhere else. Okay. Okay. In order to write a function, in order to write L is a function of x, substitute this is the key. Okay, substitute y in terms of x. That is the key. Okay, this is the formulation of it. Substitute y in terms of x in the function L. That's all you need to do. But the question is, how am I going to substitute y in terms of L, in terms of, excuse me, x? You would need this, the equation of the line. You need that, okay? So what's the equation of the line? The equation of the line was, yeah, in my case it is 6x, it changes, okay? In my case it is 6x plus 9y, it's equal to 5. In your case it could be different line.
You mean, wait, 6x plus 9y?
This is line equation, and this is the example I gave. Did you look at, did you open up the homework in the attachment in the chat I sent you?
It's right here. It's homework 1, chapter 1. Is it the same problem? I mean, like.
No, it is different. The function are different. Yeah.
The function changes. It is randomly. It just changes randomly.
Okay, I apologize.
Okay, did you get it now?
Yeah, now I guess you basically just have to switch x and y. If you want to get the function of L being for x, you have to switch x and y and follow the rules and stuff.
That's right.
Yeah, I need more practice questions and stuff on it. So we'll be fine.
Okay, done.
I suggest everyone to watch the videos on my lab about the functions. They're like 15 videos and they're like about 2 minutes or something like that. They're helpful.
That's
well,
right.
can you send me a message, or can you send a message of the name, or what are their names? Can I? YouTube is in front of me.
Have you?
What are their names?
No, it's not a YouTube. It is on my lab.
Oh, it's on my lab. I thought it's something on YouTube.
No, it's not on YouTube. It's on my lab.
On my lab is also in front of me here. Where? Okay. Assignment, chapter content. So where exactly I find this in my lab?
There is a library where you put the functions in, and then you get like the videos on the right side.
Yeah, in one of my videos, actually, I showed it, where you can find them, okay? I think last week I showed them. I showed all students how to find them.
If you want, also the professor have recorded a session.
Yeah, he's new because of that. He is asking.
Yeah, man, I don't know where the videos are.
Okay, let's do question 3, okay? Now, we are going to match each equation with its graph and do not use a graphing device and give reasons for your answer. Now, we have y is equal to x to the 6, and y is equal to x cubed, and y is equal to x to the 12. Okay, just one sec. Okay, I'm with you now. The question is, we want to match, right? So we have to go through these questions and then answer them. But before I do, we can easily eliminate y is equal to x cubed, right? You guys know the graph of the y equals to x cubed is equal to blue one. Do you remember?
Yes, teacher.
Yeah. And then we have to differentiate between x to the 6 and x to the 12. Okay? Just one sec. I need to answer that very quickly. Sorry about that. I'm back with you again. Y is equal to x to the 6 and x to the 12. Now, I want you to look at the graph, and I want you to look at the intersection point here. Do you know which point is this that they are, 3 of them are intersecting at?
The 0, 0.
0, 0, and what else? Give me one more.
Here, 1, 1, yeah.
It is 1, 1, right? It is at x is equal to 1. All of them takes the values 1. So I want you to look at, consider a value that is less than 1, and I want you to compare. Let's say, for example, 1 over 2. 1 over 2 is less than 1, right? Everybody knows. Now, I want to compare these a and c at 1 over 2. So we want to compare y is equal to 1 over 2 to the 6th, which we want to compare with y is equal to 1 over 2 to the 12th. Which one is smaller?
Over 6. That is,
Be careful.
It is over 12, which is smaller.
Yes, that's right. 1 over 2 to the 12 is smaller than 1 over 2 to the 6. Do you know why? Because y is equal to 1 over 2 to the 6 is the same as 1 over, equal to 1 over 2 to the 6. Okay? Not s2. I'm sorry. 2 to the 6. You understand, right? This is like this. Okay? And then
Yeah, of course. If you have square root of 1 over 2, it's gonna be less than like the 1 over 12 to 12 is gonna be less, because if you multiply something by 1 over 2, it gets less.
That's right. That's right. So therefore, because of this, now I want you to look at the red and green. Which one, if you, after this observation, which one has to be x to the 12 and which one has to be x to the 6? Oh my God, they are just pulling me over and over. Okay, just one sec. Okay. Which one? Blue? I mean, the red one or the green one is the A. Which one?
G.
According after this
The blue
observation.
one.
Green.
Green one is the one
G.
that is to the 6, right? Because of the observation we had done right now. Okay, you have to do such observations. You have to use some numbers and differentiate two functions, even if they look the same. Okay, so we did that. And then let's go through the question now. Now we know C is red, and then B is blue, and A is green. Okay, let's read this through. Describe the graph of y is equal to x to the 6. Select the correct choice below and fill in any answer boxes to complete your choice. The first one is
A.
The first one says of the graphs that are symmetric about the y-axis. So which one? Let me make it smaller so that you see the graph as well. Okay, of the graphs that are symmetric about the y-axis, which one are they talking about? A and C. Right, A and C are symmetric with respect to about the y-axis, right? So they are talking about A or C. It is the one that is more steep for absolute value of x is greater than 1. What does it mean, steep? Okay, A is x to the 6. Is x to the 6 steeper than, is green one steeper than the red one after 1, x greater than 1? Steeper means, you know steeper? In English, steep. Get speak very quickly. Steep means if the value of y gets bigger.
In Turkish dik.
Evet, daha dikleşiyor, daha çabuk, evet. Okay, so it is the one that is more steep for absolute value of x is greater than 1. Is it x to the 6 doing that or x to the 12 doing that?
X to the 12.
Yeah,
X to the
must be
12 is the red, right? X to the 12 is the red one because after x is greater than x, whenever x is greater than 1, it is going to go faster, get bigger fast because the power is big, right? For example, when x is equal to 5, 5 to the 12 is a lot bigger than 5 to the 6, so it's gonna grow steeper, okay? So this cannot be really x to the 6, then A cannot be x to the 6 because it says it is describing x to the 12 instead, right? So A is not true. Let's look at B. Of the graphs that are symmetric about the y-axis, so they are talking about A or C. It is the one that is less steep for absolute value of x greater than 1. Is this correct for A, x to the 6?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And it says it decreases and increases on the open intervals. We have to fill this up.
Yes. Minus infinity to 0 and 0
That's
to
right.
infinity.
Perfect. So the answer is B. And the graph of y is equal to x to the 6 is labeled green or red?
Green, I guess.
Yes. Okay. So let's answer the B. Describe the graph of y(x cubed). Select the correct choice below and fill any answer boxes to complete your choice. Of the graphs that are symmetric about the y-axis. First of all, y is equal to x cubed. Is it symmetric about the y-axis?
No.
No, it's x-axis.
It is symmetric with respect to what?
Origin.
It is symmetric with respect to the origin. So A is not true. And B is not true either. So C, it is symmetric about the origin. It increases on the open interval, right? Okay, the graph of y is equal to x cubed is labeled blue, right? Okay, let's look at C. Describe the graph of y is equal to x to the 12. A, it is symmetric about the origin, increases on the open interval. Is this true? No. Of the graphs that are symmetric about the y-axis, it is the one that is less steep for x absolute value of x greater than 1 is not true. And the answer is C, and it is labeled as red, right? That's it. Okay, we got that. Let's look at the next one. So you're understanding it, right? Okay, but the work you're gonna do is write it down. So you have to write these words. These sentences are important, like being steep, blah, blah. So it is really important for you to, when you write it, you're gonna never forget it. You're gonna always remember it, I should say. Okay, in here, it says find a formula for the function graph. In the first one, do you remember shifting up, shifting down, shifting right, shifting left, etc.? Can you write this first graph in A by using these rules, by using one of the functions that we know of, actually absolute value of x? Can you write it?
Yes, actually, A.
Can you write it in the chat, please? Can you write it in the chat? Can you guys write it in the chat, please? For A, we are not doing B, we are doing A. Okay, Atakan, what's the question?
Teacher, I don't have a question. I accidentally raised my hand by trying to open the chat box.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Metehan's suggestion is good. Actually, did you check spam or spam for the mail that's coming from bookstore? It's a good idea. You should check your spam. Yeah, Mert Anıl, you should definitely. You can say, did I forward your email to Ismail Bey? Probably I did, right, Mert Anıl? Chan asked a question, teacher, what's the difference between these PDFs and Pearson's interactive ones? Pearson's interactive ones, they change, for example, the functions change randomly. This is just one copy that I got, okay? The functions are going to change over there, but the question type will not. Okay. Okay, I want answers. Anybody? I don't see any answers
I do have
in the
the
chat.
answer, but I don't know how to write to type it like on the laptop.
Teacher.
Like,
Yes, teacher, we don't know how to write with computer. It is a little bit difficult.
Oh, it's not difficult. Look, I'm gonna write it.
I see three answers. I see three answers.
They wrote, you should scroll down in the message section, or just press End key.
Okay. You can write it and show it in the camera. Use pen and write it. You don't have to write it in the chat.
Professor, they wrote it.
But I don't see it.
You should scroll down in the meeting
I did
chat.
that, but okay, I will just close and open up again. Okay, now I see that. Okay. Okay, I see it now. Okay. Because it doesn't even show that chat is coming. Okay, so now it worked. Okay. Okay, Elena, not okay. Fatumato, you tried to write it piecewise. I want you to write it in compact form though. You want to write it separately. Okay, if you want to write it separately, of course you can. So Elena, okay, then X. That's right, and minus X, that's correct. But I want you to write it in using the absolute value of X if you can. Okay, Alexander, probably you did your own example in your example because you are using 4x 14 blah blah. You are doing the question
Yeah,
that
I'm doing the other one.
Yeah, you're doing your own question. Okay. I sent a PDF file. You can open up that file. Okay. And yeah, how about the absolute value? If you use the absolute value, how would you write it? I'm asking a different question than the question here. Okay. Can you write it absolute value using absolute value? What Alena wrote was right, okay? This is what actually MyLab wants. But I'm asking a different question. Okay, then I'm going to give the answer here. This is my answer, of course. This is in terms of absolute value. Of course, this is not what the MyLab wants. Okay. You look at Alena's answer for that type. But here, look, this is like absolute value of x, right? So first, the absolute value is a v-shaped function, absolute value of x. Then you have to reflect it by multiplying it with negative. So it's going to be negative absolute value of x. And then you're going to shift it towards right. So you have to subtract 5 from x to shift horizontally. And then you're going to add 5 to the y value to shift it up. And this is what you're going to get. But when you're writing it, you have to explain, you have to say the domain, 0 to 10. Because if you don't say that, if you don't tell the domain, then the function that you represented is a different function. Because this function just starts at 0 and ends at 10. So if I don't write the domain like 0 to 10 here, that would mean my graph is going to go continuously. Like it's going to go to infinity from right and left. So you should explicitly write it like that. Specify the domain is important. And in the next question, which is B, in B, again, the domain is important. When you're typing it, the intervals that you express the domain is important. For example, between -1 and 1, it is going to be 1. Y takes the value 1. You include 1 and -1 in the domain. But whenever y is equal to 0, you have to, y is equal to 0 is defined on 1 to 3. 1 is not included, 3 is included, okay? So you have, actually, we went over time, I guess. Okay, so yeah, that's how you should do it. And of course, this question you can do. Yeah, go ahead.
I have a question. Just why did we put minus the absolute value of x minus 5? Why is it positive? Because, for example, if we put a value of x, it's 5, it's going to be 5 minus 5, it's 0, but it's going to be minus 5 and not 5.
But when the minus go inside, it will change.
Okay, who is talking? Fatima, I know, but the other person who is talking? Ali?
Muhammad Ali Itani, yes.
Ali Itani, right?
Yes, Muhammad Ali.
Okay, Mohammed Ali Itani. Okay, so look, when x is equal to 0, we have 0 here and plus 5. And x is equal to 5, the value in the graph is 5, no problem. What's the difficulty? I didn't understand. What is wrong?
Why is it minus the absolute value of x minus 5? Isn't it going to be if x, for example, was 5? Isn't it going the y equals to minus 5 and not 5? Because we have the minus on the left.
Okay. Look, why is it minus? Because look, our original absolute value of x is V-shaped, right? Do you remember that? Do you?
Yes.
And then let me actually show it in somewhere else. Here, just a second.
Professor, after that, I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
So, I'm just really having a lot of difficulties trying to understand this, but minus y equals minus x minus 5, and then after that plus 5. Why is this? Is it like this is the formula, correct?
Just a
Yeah.
sec. Let me explain it.
Connected with f of x. How do you find this? My question.
This is question 4, right? 4 or 5, I don't know. Anyways, the question
Yes,
was
for
this.
A.
For A. Okay, this is 0 here. This is 10. This is 5. And this is 5. Okay, so how do we form it actually? I just want you to remember the shifting. That's why I changed the question, okay? Okay, so we start with y is equal to absolute value of x, okay? And then let's change the color to red.
Can you define absolute value? I studied about absolute value. I just need like a hint about what it was.
Absolute value of x takes any number and just gives you a positive of that. For example, absolute value of -9 is 9. Absolute value of 10 is 10. So whatever you put in, you get the positive of that.
Okay.
For example, but for 0, you get 0 because there's no positive negative of 0. That's all it does.
Okay.
Okay. And if you put a negative here, it is just taking the reflection of the absolute value of x. See, does this look like this almost? Do you see that the red one is similar to the first one? Yes or no? Almost.
Yes, yes.
So in order to make it exactly like that, we have to shift to the right or to the left, depending on what it is, okay? So then I'm going to use the blue color now. I'm going to shift this 5 units up. So it means I'm going to shift exactly this one 5 units up. So it's going to become 5 here. Okay, this is shifted up. And in this case, the blue one has this graph. Look, y is equal to negative x plus 5. Okay, like this.
Yes.
And then I'm going to use the green color and I'm going to shift it towards right 5 units, the blue one. So I'm going to shift it towards right. Okay, 5 units. This is going to be 10. This is going to be 5. See, I shift this guy 5 units to the right. See, this is 5 units. Okay, and the green one is y is equal to negative absolute value of x minus. If you shift it towards right, you have to change x. You have to subtract 5 from it. Okay, that's the rule. But I shouldn't stop like this. I should say on 0 to 10. If I don't say this, if I don't write this, that would mean I'm talking about a function that's going continuously like that, okay? I have to restrict myself.
Professor, so basically this thing y equal minus x wherever, it's like the function, defining the function of it.
Say it again.
It's like defining the function, Professor, right?
A minus, yeah, minus, putting a minus in the front, it's going to create another function. Subtracting 5 from x, it's going to create another function. This is creating new functions out of the simple function absolute value of x.
Oh, okay. But the main function, for example, is y equals negative x plus 5. It's the main one.
No, the main one, actually, the thing that we started is this one. Y is equal to absolute value of x. This is the main one that we start. Then we changed it to this one, the red one. And then we change it to the blue one. And then we change
so y
it to the
equals
green one.
x. So basically y equals the same number as x, but like y equals x. However, if y, for example, is 5 and x, how can I try to understand? Like if x was -5, it would become 5. So y is
right.
the absolute value of x.
That's right.
Y is the absolute value of x. But x could be anything. When it comes negative,
That's right.
but y must be the positive of x. So if we have x as -10, or it could be 10, so we have this little space between -10 and 10. However, when it comes to y, it is just 10. So this is how we get the triangle. Or the 2 lines from.
We have 4 this thing is you get 4. If it is -4, you get 4 again. This is the V-shaped graph. This is absolute value x.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's how you get the V shape. Like that's what I
Yeah,
said.
yeah. I mean, my picture is not perfect, you know.
Yeah, so you get if for example, if x was -10, or if it was 10, both ways y is gonna be 10. But we're gonna have the V shape because x could be -10 or 10.
That's right.
All right, this may be better understanding. So when
Okay.
we're trying to write it down, like right now, for example, the green line, let's say, the green line has 10 and it has 0 when it comes to x, but y is going to be 5 plus 5. Oh, so whatever x is, y is gonna be plus 5. But I'm trying to understand about the green one. Can you explain about the green one, the green line?
Yeah, the green one, I mean, you don't, okay, there are some rules shifting that we had seen, probably you weren't in the class, shifting the graph to the right or to the left to create other functions. Okay, you just memorize the rule. The rule says if you then shift a graph 5 units to the right, can you hear?
Yeah.
5 units to the right, then it is the same as subtracting 5 from x. That's a rule. Okay?
Okay.
And if you are shifting towards left, you add 5 to x. That's why we have this here. We subtracted 5 from x here. Okay?
Okay.
And then
So this
we add
rule
5.
yes. So this rule I understand. But what I don't understand is the minus before the
If you
line.
add 5, yeah,
The
absolute
minus,
value. You didn't
also the
understand
plus
this.
5. The minus for the absolute value, also the plus 5.
Yeah, plus 5 is also a rule. If you want to move the graph up or down, you have to add to the function that you have, to the y value, 5, not to x.
To the y value.
Yeah, this is a y value, right? If you add 5 to it, that would mean it's shifting up. If you add 10 to it, you're shifting up 10 units. If you subtract 5, it is shifting down by 5 units.
Oh.
Okay, so I'm going to move to the other question, okay?
Okay. Just a little bit. Thank you.
Should we have a break for 5 minutes or something?
Oh, yeah. We should have a break. Let's have a break, 10 minutes break. And let's meet at 4:50.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for reminding.
Goodbye.
Okay, I'm back again. Hi.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
Hi,
Let's. Hi. Let's do the next one. Okay, let's work on the next one. Okay, this is a nice question. Okay, let me share it with you. Hi, Ceyda, Serkan, Tuğba. Hi, Begüm.
Professor, are you taking present this session?
What's that?
Sana cevap veremiyorum.
Okay, yeah, no problem. Hi, everyone. So, yeah, let's talk about this. Okay, so there's a power company and they have a power plant and they want to lay a new cable from the plant to the city. And this, there's a river in between the power plant and the city. So when they want to lay the cable, they have to go through the river, right? And then let's say, let's get the picture. There's the point P across the plant on the other side of the river. And this point P, the distance between the point P and the city is 2 kilometers. And the width of this river is 240 meters. And as you would understand or agree that laying a cable underwater is costly, is going to cost more than laying a cable on the ground. Okay, so actually it costs $180 per meter across the river, whereas it's going to cost $90 per meter across the land. Okay, so knowing this, the question is, suppose I'm reading the A. Suppose the cable goes from the plant to a point Q. This point Q is in between point P and the city. And the distance between the point P and Q is an unknown X. And the question is, write a cost function, Cx, that's going to give the cost of laying the cable in terms of distance X. Okay, that's what we are going to do. And we know if it is, for example, $160 per meter across the river, then if we know the distance from the power plant to Q, we are going to multiply this distance with 180 to get the cost underwater. And then and the distance between Q and the city times 90 is going to give us the cost across the land. Okay, so let's write it down. All right. I call D1 as the distance from the plant to the point Q, and you can find it by using this right angle triangle. We have 240 squared, x squared. You add them up and take the square root and get the distance between the power plant and the point Q. Okay, so this is the D1. And then cost 1 is D1 times 180 because it's across the river. And you get 180 times square root of x squared plus 240 squared. And let's say D2 is the distance between the point Q and the city. And it is 2 kilometers minus x, of course, whatever the x is. And I convert it to the meters. 2 kilometers is 2,000 meters. So cost 2 is going to be 90 times the distance between Q and the city. And it's going to be 90 times 2,000 minus x. Okay? And I'm interested in the total cost. Okay, I have cost 1, which is underwater. I have the cost 2, which is across the land. And I'm going to add these up to find the total cost. So you add them up, you get this equation right here. Let me see. As you would see, this is the equation that we get, that I highlighted. Okay, now we have a CX function. We expressed everything in terms of X, and that's it. Now, next question is, any questions about CX? Any questions about the cost function?
No, sir.
Okay. So let's answer B. In B, generate a table of values to determine if the least expensive location for point Q is less than 300 meters or greater than 300 meters from point P. So what does it say? So let's give some values to X and calculate the cost. And we are going to get 5 costs, and we are going to compare them. The least one, of course, is what the company is gonna may choose. So for that, what I did is I wrote down. Where is it? Oh, okay, I was looking for this. Okay, I wrote C0, C200, etc. I want you to find these values for me in the chat. Okay. You can use calculator, you can use Wolfram Alpha, you can use whatever you like. And I'm going to give you the Wolfram Alpha website as well. It's easy to use, and you should get used to using it. Okay. And please find me these values. 5 of you maybe can find it separately to save time. Can I ask Khan to do C0 and Bayram Mert to do C200, Burak Onur to do C300, İsmet to do C400, and Berna to do C500? Can you do that for us, please, using a calculator?
Professor?
Yeah.
Can I, how can I say, leave the lecture? I have to go somewhere.
Yeah, sure.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay, so he's gonna do that. I mean, I told the Khan, what did I say? Khan, Bayram, Burak Onur, İsmet, and Berna. Can you please calculate them and give us the answers? Yeah.
These questions, we calculate them.
Yeah, I mean, not all of it. For example, İsmet, yours is going to be C400.
Okay.
I think Berna is going to solve C500. I mean, he's going to give us the number C500. Okay, I'm waiting for your answers. Other students can also do, because we are going to write it down, the answers, and we can compare.
Excuse me, Professor.
Yeah.
The square root is for all 240 square plus 90 times 2000. The square root is for all this equation.
That's right. That's right.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm not one of the names that you have mentioned, but I've calculated the C0.
Yeah, can you write it in here in the chat, please?
Sorry, I can't write it in the chat.
Okay, what is the answer? Tell me.
It's 87,739.61.
No, 87. No, 87 is not right.
Oh.
Yeah, check it out. Check it again.
Yeah, I'm going to check it again.
Sure, I did the homework. If you want, I can share my answers.
Yes, please do that.
Okay.
Caesar is not right. Atakan, can you redo it, please? The numbers, they don't seem to be right.
Oh, maybe the
Teacher,
question
because
numbers.
questions are different.
They are
Numbers in questions are
Oh,
different.
yeah, the numbers are different. I want this one.
Sorry. Sorry.
I don't want yours. Brock, it's not right. Eray, it's not right. Berna, it's not right. Anybody else? Yes, Metahan, yours is right, C500. And the others? Atakan, C200 is right. Anybody else? No more? Okay, Behzat, yeah, yours is right. C300. Okay, so these are the answers actually: C0, C200, C300, C400, C500. Okay. And if you compare, which one is the smallest? Actually, just a sec. I think there's a... Yeah. It is 200. Right? 200 is the one, that's the smallest.
Yes.
Right? Okay, 200 is
Yes.
the smallest. So that means if the x is around 200, then it's the smallest of them all. Okay, and the next question is let's go over the next question. We have another question afterwards related to this. Okay. Okay, so it is here. Let me write this here too. I don't have them here. Okay, let me copy them here. So 200 is the smallest. And then next question says, is the least expensive location for point Q less than 300 meters or greater than 300 meters from point P, they say. Okay, so we have to find it. Okay, so 200 happened to be the smallest among the 5 of them, but does it really show that it is the smallest of them all? Like there could be some other numbers that are different than these x's, and maybe the cost function is going to be the least. How would I know? How should I answer? Or what should I do to give the correct answer to this question? Like, what should I check? Or what type of things can I use to find a correct answer to this? And first, what is the answer and why? Is point Q less than 300 meters or bigger than 300 meters? How would Okay, you can make some guesses. Which one seems to be right? This should be exactly 300. 300. I mean 200. Okay, see it? Alex, were you talking?
Like I didn't really get the question. Like, what should we do? Like, what was the point of the question? Like, what do they mean by saying?
Okay. Okay, so let's say consider yourself as the boss of this company. And since you want to save some money, you would look for the best Q location, right?
Okay.
And the question is saying, should we locate this Q at a point where it is less than 300 meters, or 300 meters closer, or less than 300 meters means it's closer to P, less than 300, or greater than 300? Where should we locate Q? That's the question.
It must be closer to P, I guess.
Okay, so what is your justification?
I mean, because of the price list, I mean, it's better to go across the land, as I think.
That's right. That's right. That's a good approach. But this is not going to give you the concrete. I mean, this is a justification, but not the best justification, right? I'm going to show you another way. I want you to go to the Wolfram Alpha and plot this graph. Like we plot this graph. This is the graph of the CX, right? Cost function. And then if you plot it, this is our cost function, as you see here. 180 square root of x squared plus 240 squared plus 90 times 2000 minus x. And then if you draw the graph of this, as you would see, after x is equal to 0, is it increasing or decreasing function?
After 0 or?
After 0.
It's increasing?
Increasing. Increasing. So that would mean if the x value increases, then the cost is going to increase. Is that true?
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is reasonable, right? Because it's going to be less across the land and more underwater, right? So, and then they are asking about 300. Let's go to the 300 over here. For example, I have 5,000 here. Just one sec, somebody's at the door. Okay. Okay, so if you look at the graph, I mean, you're not seeing the graph, do you? Oh, you are seeing the graph, yeah. Let's see. Okay, you are seeing the graph now, right?
Okay, yes.
So 300 is somewhere here, okay? So it is better to locate Q less than 300 because the cost is going to be less because the function is increasing, okay? So this is a good justification where to put Q, all right? So because the function is increasing, you can say, maybe we should write it here too. Maybe I wrote already, I'm not sure, maybe I wrote in the morning. Let's see. The answer to the last question can be found by looking at the graph of cost function. Since cost function is an increasing function after x0, the answer is the least expensive location for point Q is less than 300 meters. Okay, so we justified our answer actually. Okay, so that's it. So I'm going to close that. Okay, so if you're ready, I'm going to move to the next question. Okay, so how many minutes do we have? 9? Is this 9? How many minutes?
Yeah,
think
we've
9
got
minutes.
9 minutes only.
Okay, so here for this question 6, you have you are given some f and g square root functions here, and they want you to find the domain and range for f plus g and f times g. For the domain of f, you know square root inside function has to be greater or equal to 0. So x plus 3 greater or equal to 0. X has to be greater or equal to -3 in the first one. And in the for g and for the range, it should be 0 to plus infinity, right? Because f takes positive values, 0 and positive values. So it is easy. How about f plus g? For the domain, it's the intersection of the domains. For f times g, it is the intersection of domains. So these things can be found. So I'm going to just skip that. Okay. Let's move on. And I want to talk about this question 7. The graph of the graph to the right shows the graph y is equal to -x squared, which is shifted to 2 new positions labeled A and B. I want you to write down the equation for A and B. Yeah. Let me check the chat. Or do you want to see the picture again? I mean, question again. Okay. The black one is the original. Y is equal to -x squared. It's the reflected parabola, right? Y is equal to x squared is reflected. And then you get the y is equal to -x squared graph. And A is the new position that is shifted towards right by 2 units. So how would you write it? And then B is shifted towards left by 5 units. How would you write it? Can you write it in the chat? Are you working on it?
Yeah, we're
Already wrote it.
You already wrote it? Okay, sorry. Just it happens to me all the time. Okay, let's see. Okay. Now I see it. Yeah, everybody. Okay, perfect. So, so I'm gonna go through it. Okay, Atakan said negative. Okay, just I can't say. Okay, negative x squared minus 2. Okay, so you are shifting towards right, but if you do this, this is shifting up or down. Atakan, it's not right. Ahmed, you are shifting. You are shifting towards right. That's right. Ahmed Gökhan is right. And then Alexander is not right because you are shifting the y. It's not right. Okay.
I
And
don't know how to put the brackets. Like that's the problem. I mean, I don't know how to put the brackets. Like I want to put the brackets over 2, but I couldn't do it. So that's
okay. Okay. Fatumato, it's not 3, by the way. You wanted to do it. Maybe you did it your question. There's no 3 here.
Yes, teacher, sorry. I put my answer.
You did your answer.
Like, yeah.
Yes, yes. Ahmet Gökhan, you did right for the other B as well.
okay. That's
Mehmet
what I
Ali,
missed.
right? You're right. This is A you're talking, right? Beyza is right. Kadir is right. Yeah, Atakan says yeah. All right, Alexander is right now. Okay. So shifting right or left, it's you change x. We said that before, right? So, so the answer is going to be A is going to be y is equal to negative x minus 2 squared, and B is going to be negative x plus 5 because you're shifting towards left. It's squared afterwards. All right. So we have 4 minutes. And yeah, let's do this. This is a nice question too. And let's see. Okay, so the question is graph the following function by starting graph y is equal to x cubed and applying an appropriate transformation. And this time the function that's given is kind of interesting. Y is equal to 1 minus x cubed minus 4. I want to give you a hint to start with if you don't know how to start. Anybody? You need help or not? You need hint or not? Yes or no?
We don't need, I think.
You don't need? Okay. So I'm going to keep my hint here if you don't need it. And then if you cannot answer, then I'm going to give my hint. I'm writing it now. Okay. Then give me the answer. I mean, after you're done, of course. Okay, Can, no problem. Yeah, hi, Berke. So this is my hint. I think this hint maybe makes it easier. Yeah, my internet is gone, and then I'm back again. Okay.
Semail Hoca,
Come on. Yeah.
I can't write chat box.
Okay. Is that Mustafa?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. You can say it in words if you want. So what do you think, what type of transformation we should use here?
Teacher, it said genel kanalında paylaşım yapmanıza izin verilmiyor diyor. Acaba bu problem sadece bende mi var?
Evet, sadece sizde yok, başkalarında da var.
Tamam hocam, teşekkür ederim.
Evet, bende de var.
I don't know the reason, but there's such a problem, okay? But you can say it in words, your answer, if you like. Yeah, vertical shift, there's a horizontal shift, that's right, that's right. And then one more. You can say it. You wrote there. Just a sec, go back to it. Reflection across the, not y-axis, it should be x-axis. Okay. Why are you thinking vertical, reflection across the y-axis? It should be x-axis. Okay, in my other class, they made the same mistake. Okay, let me explain it to you. So you got it almost right, Ahmed. Okay, so here, this is our original question that's given, right? Question 8. And then the hint is, I factor -1 out, and I have that. The reason I did that is, you see, I'm talking about y is equal to x cubed. What I'm going to do is first, I'm going to multiply this with, okay, step 1. Step 1 is, okay, maybe I should, here. Okay, let me follow these steps. I should say steps. And then 1, shift to the right by 1 unit. So if you do that, you get this. Look. Okay, if you do that, you get, okay, you get this. Okay, shift to the right by 1 unit is this. It's almost this, okay? Then reflect across the x-axis means you have to multiply by -1. Okay, so we got that too. And then one more. We have to do the shift down. This is actually, I should say, horizontal shift. Maybe I should write it like this so that you remember. Horizontal shift, and then this is vertical shift. Down by 4 units, and then this is going to give you +4. Okay, so that's how you should do it. And this is the reflect. Okay. Okay, did you understand the steps now?
Yes.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, great. So you got that too. And time is up. We have 3 minutes past the time.
Excuse me, it should be -4.
Huh?
In the notes, it should be -4, not +4.
Yeah, let me go back to it. Yeah, sometimes I do that. I copy wrong numbers. In the morning, I did that. Let me check. Yeah, -4, that's right. Thank you very much for the correction. Because if you don't make them clear now, when students go through the notes, it drives them nuts, right? So the answer is C, D, E. Horizontal shift, reflection across the x-axis, and vertical shift, okay?
Teacher, may I ask a question?
Yeah.
What happens if we apply reflection across the y-axis?
Okay, if you do the reflection across, it's going to be like a mirror on the y-axis, along the y-axis, and you're going to just get the reflected mirror. I mean, reflected image. Like for example,
absolute value of x.
Yeah, you have to make x is negative, right? You have to put negative in front of x, -1, to get a reflection across the y-axis. Now we are putting -1 in front of y value. Look, this is a y value. Let's see. Okay, so this is a y value, and I'm putting minus in front of all of the y value. Look, and if you put a negative in front of x value, then it's going to be a reflection across the y-axis then, because yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Any other questions before I leave? And I mean, I would recommend you, we were a little bit behind in this class because in other class we solved 9 as well. I want you to listen to the 9 and 10 in other classes lecture notes. And there are the answers are in here, but I want you to show your work and write it down with your hands, okay? I want that, and please submit on Teams or on LMS. Either one is fine. And write it rigorously and explain as much as you can. Yeah, go ahead.
Are you taking presence on this session?
Attendance, you mean?
Yes.
Yes, I do. Right now, I'm downloading it. Yeah. And you're done. You can leave. You
No,
can.
just because I can't write hi and bye in the chat, so I don't.
Yeah. Oh, hi and bye is actually when we didn't have this Excel stuff, but I still want you to say hi and bye. It's a good thing, right? You just say hi and bye. I like it. If you like it too, just keep doing it.
I can't. I'm going to send you an email today.
Okay, you can't. Okay, sorry about
I'd love to.
Okay. So see you then. Okay, take care, study hard. You too, have a nice
Excuse
day,
me.
and see you next time. And I'm gonna send you the videos, other videos too.
So you sent us email about the section 1 virtual class recording, isn't
Yes.
it?
I sent section 1 virtual class for today's. It's not the recorded session outside of our
Yeah.
regular meeting. Okay, I'm
Are
gonna
you-
do that.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. I was very busy first 3 days.
Yeah.
I mean,
no problem.
first 3 days of the week, so I couldn't really. I had tons of meetings, etc.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that, but I want you to do the homework. Still, I mean, there aren't too many students. Did the homework yet? So that means you're not
Actually-
working on the homework.
Actually, I was waiting for the code yesterday about it, but I am still waiting for the code till they send it to me from
Mhm.
Shalan.
Yeah, you can find out. I gave for the. After you receive your online access code, you're gonna do that in homework 2, homework 3. But I already sent homework 1 and homework 2. Just look at that and solve the questions. Write it in your handwriting. I want to see that.
Yeah,
That's
but
good
you,
enough.
but you said that it's different numbers.
No problem. As long as you understand.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
want you guys to understand.
Okay.
Okay, so just a second. Okay.
Yeah, like actually, I'm waiting for my lab to like I want to study more from my lab. videos and
Sure.
stuff,
Yeah.
Because
No
I'm not
problem.
good in math.
I definitely
right
agree.
now.
Definitely
Yeah.
agree. You are completely right. And also, it helps you to solve it too. It's very good feature.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You're right.
Okay.
Okay. So,
Take care. Bye bye.
Okay, cool guys. Cool, I guess. Bye.
Sağ ol,
Bye,
teşekkürler.
teacher.
Bye guys. I took the attendance. Yeah, good.